In Introduction to Speech Communication, Speech 1311, one of the questions I get frequently is, how do I know what my grade is? Our grading system does not follow a standard point or percentage scale that you might be used to. What I've done is taken specifications grading, which means you have to meet a certain list of requirements, and it has to be at a workable level, right? Acceptable level. That's taken from the IT field. And I've combined this with mastery learning. What that means is that if you don't reach a certain level, you can revise and resubmit your work. Both of those things are true. So let's take a look at what it means when I say a module is completed. You have to turn in all required work and meet a mastery level of 80%. Often when people say completed, all they mean is that all the work is in. What that means is you won't know if your module is completed until I return your grade for that work. Remember though, if you're not at that 80% mastery level, you'll get a chance to revise and resubmit so you can be at that level. Sorry, skipped a slide. So, this seems more complicated than it actually is. We have 5 modules in our course, and we have 5 letter grades that are possible. Our first module is orientation, just getting you in and getting you comfortable with the course. You need to turn in all the required work and meet the 80% mastery level before you'll be able to turn in work in the next module. Now, when you've completed orientation, you've just made a start. This lets you stay in the course. If you don't do anything after orientation, unfortunately, you will fail the course because you haven't really done anything. So, after orientation, we move on to Module 2, Group Communication. In this module, we have one required virtual meeting, and that is to do the group communication project. You'll have more information about that project separately. That meeting is the only way you can do that project. So that's one of the things that you need to do to mark off, I've done this. So when you have completed Module 2, meaning you've turned in all the required work, attended that meeting, and you've met an 80% mastery level, you have now completed a second module. So completing Module 2 plus Module 1 gets you a D. It's minimally passing. Ds do get degrees, so if that's all you're looking for, you're good, right? You only have to do 2 modules. I don't think most people are aiming for a D, so let's talk about the next module. Everybody's favorite, public speaking. This is our 3rd module. This one will also have a virtual meeting. You're going to deliver your speech at that meeting. Again, there's not another option for doing that work, so that's going to be part of did you turn it in by attending the meeting and delivering your speech there. Once you have turned in all required work and met an 80% mastery level for Module 3 public speaking, you now have a C in the course. So, notice we've completed Modules 1, 2, and 3. We're on our 3rd letter grade. C's are transferable. So if you plan to or want the option to transfer to a 4-year university on down the road, you would want to earn at least a C in this course. If you're aiming a bit higher, you will need to go on and complete Module 4, Foundations of Communication. Once you have done all the required work, turned in that required work, and met the 80% mastery level, you will have completed this module. Now you have a B. The great news about the way these modules are structured is that you don't ever go back down. So once you've got a B, if you don't do any work after that, it stays a B. Same thing with the C, right? So for a B, you do 4 of the 5 modules. Modules 1, 2, 3, and 4. Lastly, if you want to earn an A, you'll be completing Module 5, Interpersonal Communication. Once you have turned in all the work for this module and met that 80% mastery level, you will have completed this module. This module is due at the end of our term, so as long as you have the work in before the end of the term, you'll have a chance to revise and resubmit if needed. It's going to be a quick turnaround though, so be aware that it's going to be quick. Once you turn in all the work for Module 5 and reach that 80% mastery level, you have earned an A in the course. So as you can see, it's a little more simple than you might have thought at first. We have 5 modules, complete all 5 for an A, 4 for B, 3 for a C, 2 for a D, and just 1 for an F. I don't think anybody's aiming for that. Hopefully this explanation has helped you understand how our grades work a little better and maybe eased your mind a little bit in the process. If you have any questions about grading or anything else in the course, please do reach out to me.